All right, let's grip it and rip it.
Hey, you dorks, this is Gunnar Henson, Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you are listening to The Dorkening.
Hi, I'm Brian Johnson, and although you probably accidentally stumbled across it and have no idea why you're watching it, you are in fact watching The Dorkening.
Hello, this is Tom Kenny, voice actor, the voice of the Ice King on Adventure Time. And SpongeBob SquarePants. Ah, meow. Oh, Gary the Snail, too. Hey, guess what you're filling your eye holes and ear holes with? The Dorkening! Oh, I love the Dorkening. Very popular in Ooh. And Bikini Bottom.
Hi, I'm Lou Ferrigno. You're watching The Dorkening. And you know what? You don't like me when I get angry, so don't get me angry. You better keep watching The Dorkening.
Hey guys, this is Felissa Rose, and you're watching The Dorkening.
Hey guys, it's Courtney Palm. We're shooting Death House, and you're watching The Dorkening.
This is Anthony Michael Hall, and you're watching The Dorkening. Stay tuned. My friend's going to show you what entertainment's all about, baby.
The Dorkening.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Rise and shine, my sinners. When Father Evil starts his day, he gets a little deadly. Deadly Grounds coffee has the richest, smoothest flavor you'll find anywhere. It's sinfully delicious. Once you go deadly, you never go back. Order yours at getdeadly.com. Coffee's so good, it's scary.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. You're watching The Dorkening. We have an awesome show scheduled for you today. We're going to be talking about some incredible movie news coming your way with DC and Marvel. DC Fandome, what did you miss? We're going to be chatting about it. But as always, Steven, how's it going, my friend?
Good. How is everyone?
Doing well, doing well. Powerful Brandon.
Hey, I'm all right. How are all of you doing tonight?
Doing great, especially since Yo-Yo's in the house.
Hey, everybody. I feel like I kind of need a better name, though. Powerful Brandon. That's a freaking badass name.
Well, came about it honestly enough.
Great to see you, my friend.
Great to see you guys, too.
Yeah. And a very special guest, Kennedy Phillips. How's it going, sir?
I'm doing rather fine, but hey, don't feel bad about the name thing because I've very obviously stolen my name from two guys. Not an original ounce of marrow in my bones, I can tell you that much.
So Kennedy, you're a sound designer, a voice actor. What else are you?
I am many things, but yeah, sound designer is one of the main things that I do. You might know me from work like Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss, as well as Satina, Mayhem, and a couple of other animated cartoons. I'm also the creator of an audio comedy called Magus Elgar. I've actually mentioned it on this show before once. And I'm also working on a new show called Clutch a Cobalt Story, which we'll probably be talking about a little bit later on.
Totally, yeah. We got a trailer for it. We'll definitely be talking about that. And if you want to learn more about Kennedy, I do have a bunch of information for him in the show notes up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us. Yeah. So DC Fandome was this week.
Oh, was it? Happy Wednesday, Tom. Thanks, buddy.
I haven't noticed. I've honestly been occupying myself with watching other things, such as Teen Titans, because, you know, that is also a DC thing.
Yeah.
I've actually been slowly watching the Teen Titans Tokyo movie in small increments at like 10 minutes at a time between projects that I'm working on because I don't have enough time to sit down and actually watch the whole thing.
You've turned it into a web series.
Teen Titans Tokyo?
Yeah, it's like a Teen Titans Trouble in Tokyo. It's technically the last. It's like technically the series finale of Teen Titans from the old 2003 show.
Okay, is it something that just dropped or
no?
It's on HBO Max. It's been around for a while now. I went back and watched Teen Titans because I never actually got to watch season 5 of that series. And my roommate said, "Oh, you really don't want to watch that, man. It's nothing but Doom Patrol." And then I said, "You know what? I ended up seeing like an episode of Doom Patrol and being like, well, that actually wasn't that bad. I'm gonna go give this a shot now."
Doom Patrol is really good.
It's surprisingly really good, despite the source material being kind of.
Yeah, no, they found a good balance, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it.
Well, I mean, they've proven before that Doom Patrol can work. I mean, just look at Evil Con Carne, because Maxwell Adams made that series based off of Doom Patrol, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, that's a very fair point.
I totally need to get back into Doom Patrol. I watched half the first season. I really enjoyed it. Just ran out of time.
Oh man, if you like the first half, wait till you see the second half. Boy, oh boy, Leo, it's gonna knock your socks off, pal.
Good thing I have another pair.
Yeah, but just the two.
Yep, just the two.
After that,
yeah.
That's nothing but sandals for the rest of the day.
You said it like it's a bad thing. Of course, it's the Floridian talking, so ignore me.
I know I'm gonna. A lot of people are saving this for the end, but the Batman trailer. I want to dive right into that because that was holy friggin' shit.
Can I just say one thing about that?
Yeah.
I've voiced my opinion about that for a long time, and I want to take back everything I said about it because I had no faith about it. But after seeing the trailer, sign me the hell up.
Oh, Steve, you're adorable. Let me tell you a little story about when a young actor named Heath Ledger was announced as the Joker in a Christopher Nolan movie. Oh boy, did the fanboy masses lose their ever-loving fucking minds.
Oh,
And
if
then
you're
the movie
talking in
came
that
out,
voice.
And then the movie came out, and everyone who had something to say against it suddenly shut the fuck up. It was incredible. We're
If you're
about
doing-
to see the same thing happen now.
If you're doing an old voice, if you're doing an old voice for that, you're going to turn to dust when I'm going to say that, everybody had the same kind of reaction when they found out, you mean to tell me that Mr. Mom is going to be Batman?
Yep,
Who
I
is this
remember-
Michael Keaton person?
I remember. No, it wasn't even who is this Michael Keaton person. It was, just as you said, you mean the guy from fucking Gung Ho and Mr. Mom? Yeah, sure.
Because I've gotten into a habit
Is it
that
Honey, I Shrunk the Batman?
So I've gotten into a habit that every time that there's a new Batman being announced, I usually sit to myself and say, you know what? I'm going to give a little bit of time, because every Batman that I have ever ended up watching has either surprised me or surprisingly disappointed me. It's like they always bring different things to the table, and that's not to say that
I think you guys need a little backstory about this situation, about what I said. When it was first announced...
Oh, he's gone.
I thought he paused for
Master of
dramatic
suspense.
effect.
Dramatic pause.
Hold on, Steve, you froze, so we...
Try that again.
Yeah. Go ahead.
When it was first announced, I was dead set against it. Now... I was, kind of some things. Leo can attest to this, and he's probably got the change name button fired up right now. And I hope the hell he doesn't. Get your finger off of it. I was, if you've seen multiple episodes of this show, I've been voicing my opinions about Snyder Cut. There's some things about DC I don't like. Some things I do like.
Well, let's be honest, Steve. Most things you don't like about DC.
Oh, shut up.
I mean, it doesn't sound like it's a 50-50 split. I'll say.
All right,
that.
so the thing, I don't want to run up the time. I'm trying to get my thing out. It's just the thing that what I was trying to say was, when it was first announced, I was dead set against it. Now this came out, I'm giving it a chance.
Good. That's and honestly, that's the best thing you can do for any project. Just approach it with an open mind and say like, hey, I'm going to try to let this be what it is, and come to a conclusion after that. Don't try to formulate an opinion beforehand for things that you haven't experienced yet. That's like when you see a 6-year-old say, I don't like it. How do you know you haven't tried it? Because I just do. All right. I guess that makes sense if you're insane or stupid. So, no, that's great, Steve. I'm really glad that the end result of that trailer was you like, all right, let me take a step back. Let's
I mean, okay. There are some exceptions about let's just wait to give it a chance. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this, but very, very slight sidebar. There was a trailer for a movie by the writer of 12 Years as a Slave, which seems to be a rather dramatic affair about a man who is dealing with a really tough conflict with another gentleman who is trying to steal his wife through time travel. And the movie is called Needle in a Time Stack.
Needle in a Time Stack.
Needle in a Time Stack.
That is a horrible title.
You could have called it so many other things. You could have called it The Timey-Wimey Man, or the wife-stealing time traveler. Or you know what? You could have gone even better. You could have just called it The Time Traveler's Wife, and it would have worked.
Or Box Office Poison. No?
Please
Tattoo
don't
on
see
the nose.
Please
Sorry,
don't
guys.
Avoid at all costs.
So, Yo-Yo, what did you think of the Batman trailer?
So, him portraying Bruce Wayne, I'm still kind of on the fence about. I'm happy he didn't sparkle. That was one of my concerns. I had to.
Low-hanging fruit.
I know.
Just remember, there is no gentleman on this planet that hates those movies more than that gentleman.
It's true.
Oh, I know.
Very true. I mean, the number 2 in that race, though, is Kristen Stewart. She does not like those movies
I'm sure
either.
they enjoyed the money from it, but you can tell.
Honestly, I get the distinct impression from both of them that if they had the chance to do that again, their relationship, whatever notwithstanding, if they had the chance to do it all over again, they would say no. they would rather continue acting and, you know, actually having characters that they enjoy embodying, like, are challenged by, because you can tell that the two of them, right, like, in the middle of that first movie, were just bored as shit. And then the rest of that series, they just, like, barely showed up. And the hardest part about it is, like, I've seen them both in things, like, right before that movie came out, and you can tell that they're good actors. And that franchise started to suck the life out of them, much like a vampire does with blood.
I just want to say, Kristen Stewart, she actually popped up on a work project. So we have a diversity and inclusion movement at work, and we have like movie watching time, and we were covering one with dealing with people with disabilities and their portrayal in movies.
That's one of the movies that I saw. Go ahead, I know what you're talking about.
So Kristen Stewart in the Huntsman, Snow White, and they did not hire anybody with dwarfism to play the dwarves.
Oh, I'm sorry. We were talking about a completely different thing. My bad.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I didn't see that movie, so this
I didn't.
It's
I
all
didn't
news to me. Like, oh, really? So did that upset the 7 people that saw it in theaters? Did people see that?
I didn't see it. And,
I didn't.
Like, if you didn't make it to the theater that week, good luck to you. Like, sorry guys, I want to see Snow White. Too bad. It's already over.
So I'm curious. What did you think I was going to say, Brandon?
Oh, she was in another movie where she played a girl with a disability.
Oh, okay.
And it was like shortly before Twilight, and she's excellent in it. It's a really good movie. It's an independent movie. And that's when I made note, like, oh, all right, you know, so the young girl from Panic Room, she actually, like, it looks like she has some chops, man. That's great. And then I saw Twilight, and I was like, what the fuck just happened? Why would you do that?
But
just keep in mind, like, almost.
Like,
go ahead.
You can tell, like, with certain actors' performance, like, there was just, like, they read that script and they're like, oh God, why did I agree to do this? And they're just like phoning it in. And that's just what's definitely one of those movies.
Well, either that or they're like, oh God, I wish I could get the negatives and burn them because somebody is clearly blackmailing them to be in that movie.
Yeah, I mean, there's also, like, there's a lot of movies where the actors will be phenomenal performers, and then they'll just get something that just, it might be the director or it might be the writing or something about it that really drastically affects their performance. Case in point, Neil Patrick Harris is a phenomenal actor, and then they had him do a English dub of a Japanese rendition of Star Wars in Star Wars Visions done by Trigger. And he's playing like this evil dark Sith clone thing, and his performance is so bad. And you're like, but I know you do good work, so what happened? And that's just how it happens, man. Sometimes you get projects where you're just like, this is awful. Like, I confess, like, I've worked on projects where, like, my work is absolute garbage.
But yeah, I mean, the key thing here though is, and much like Yo-Yo was saying, like, there was no feeling that this was anything close to the character of Edward from Twilight, which hopefully, fingers crossed, would assuage some people's feelings of doubt regarding the casting of Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Because they made a lot of that, you know, joke, that really caustic commentary. It was like, oh, fucking the sparkly people, blah blah blah, vampire. He's gonna shine in the sunlight.
Meanwhile,
how is he the night then? Oh God.
Meanwhile, in the same breath, they're complaining about Meanwhile, in the same breath, they're like, "Oh, Ben Affleck is best Batman ever." I'm like, isn't that the guy from Geely?
But they're the same people that bitched up a storm when Ben Affleck was first announced.
Of
course,
course.
what I'm saying, like, it's like cyclical hypocrisy, and it's fucking enraging and stupid. Like,
yeah, I mean, personally, I didn't care for, like, Ben Affleck as Batman, but, like, that's not to say that I don't like Ben Affleck in general. I actually just find Ben Affleck to be a better director than I do an actor.
That's fair.
For me, I liked him as Bruce Wayne, but his portrayal of Batman, yeah.
Hey, listen, the best thing I can say about Batman altogether, like the very best thing I can say about Batman from those movies, is the fact that he used a voice modulator when he was in the Batsuit. That's the only thing I've ever wanted in any representation for that character. It just never made sense to me that he'd be walking around and be like, "I'm Bruce Wayne, and I'm Batman." Yeah, you're the same dude. We can hear it. But then
in
you
all
got
fairness,
Christian Bale, who sounds like he was eating a pack of Cool cigarettes a day in order to do his voice for the Christopher Nolan movies.
In all fairness, did you ever actually listen to some of the old stuff from Batman the Animated Series that Kevin Conroy did?
I mean, when I watched it as a child, yes.
So there is one particular scene in that show that I really always love to draw attention to in terms of the whole like Batman voice thing of showing that a person can do both really well. And there's a scene in it where Batman is his identity is exposed by Doctor Strange, and he's about to like play it, but then suddenly Bruce Wayne and Batman are in the same room together and start talking to each other, and both of them are voiced by Kevin Conroy, and they sound like two completely different people because Kevin Conroy is a genuinely good voice actor.
Yeah.
And his voice for Batman sounds like it has a very different quality than Bruce's voice. So that it's possible to do it without a voice modulator. I did appreciate that they did it for Ben Affleck because I don't think Ben Affleck would do a very great Batman voice in that regard.
It's too high a register. But that's actually what it is that Kevin Conroy is doing. He's much more buoyant as Bruce Wayne in the animated series. He lilts more of his words, so he sounds more affable and personable, which makes perfect sense. That's the role he's playing. And then as Batman, it's like devoid of all emotion, just cold logic and vengeance. And that's, I am vengeance. I am the night. Like, okay, we get it, man.
What I actually appreciate about Kevin Conroy's performance in particular, like from a voice acting standpoint, is that they always portray Batman as a person who the act is not Batman, it's Bruce Wayne. And the register for Kevin Conroy's voice is a little bit more towards Batman's side, whereas the Bruce Wayne voice is something that he has to strain himself a little bit more by comparison. And that's something I really appreciate about that because it's more of an effort to be Bruce Wayne for him than it is to be Batman.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the things that we didn't get too much of in this because it's essentially a sizzle reel that's been turned into a trailer. The dichotomy between the two characters as Robert Pattinson's going to play them within this story. Where we know for the most part that this is not an origin story. It's like year 2. He's already been established. He's still kind of working with the GCPD, and they're feeling each other out for that level of trust. But he's still very much seen as like sort of a dangerous and possibly psychotic person. So there's a wide berth given him. But with what we saw all together, him with the long hair and clearly looking like you would never peg his Bruce Wayne in that as being that Bat dude in the trailer. But aside from anybody else, the makeup and overall performance, just in the snippet we saw on Colin Farrell as Oswald Cobblepot, was fucking astounding.
Yeah.
That's a dude who has come like leaps and bounds from where he once was. Like, who'd have thought the douchebag from Miami Vice the movie would actually end up being a goddamn decent actor?
Is that what we're going to do now? We're just going to like identify the absolute singular worst thing they've been attached to as like the thing they're known for.
Oh no, because that's not the worst thing. I said Miami Vice. I didn't bring up SWAT. I didn't bring up The Recruit. Oh, there we go. I just did. Whoopsie.
I just wanted to bring up real quick. So with the Batman, I think they said it's 2.5 hours, and it's going to be a noir detective film.
Zack Snyder would have been 17 hours. Bullshit. Release the Snyderverse.
And it was released today that Batman. I don't know if they're going to do it as Bruce Wayne or Batman. He's going to be narrating throughout the movie as well.
Oh, that's cool. So that's definitely going to give it a noir feel.
Totally.
I like
And
that.
Last thing I'm going to note is DC Fandom was definitely playing into it, because if you went into the shop, they had a special diamond glittery Batman you could buy.
Oh, you can vault. Come on.
Meanwhile, in the back, Robert Pattinson's like, "Am I a joke to you?"
My joke to you. I don't think it's particularly funny.
Go ahead.
Actually,
somebody spotted in the trailer, you can see a blimp in the background as well.
Ooh.
Yeah.
A Zeppelin?
The Zeppelin, yeah.
So very Paul Dini. Well, not just Paul Dini, but what's his
Bruce
name?
Timm.
Bruce Timm. Thank you. Bruce. Go figure. Why couldn't I remember that one? Yeah, that's very much in that sort of semi Art Deco style. I dig it.
Yeah.
You know? Cool.
Speaking of Bruce Timm, they also talked about his new series as well.
Caped Crusader.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's from what I understand going to be for mature audiences.
Yeah.
That has been the trend lately.
Finally, sexy Batman. Oh.
I am curious about it. Like, I'm going to definitely give it a chance, because it does look like it's trying to harken back to the 1940s kind of style of things.
Yep.
But just bring up like modern animation techniques and the like. And I'm all for that. Like, I'm on board with that. Usually with like DC's animation department, they're usually like really strong going forward.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There hasn't been too many animated things that I've watched of theirs that I like absolutely detested.
Except
or anything
for
like that.
Injustice.
Yeah, well, that wasn't a very good one, was it?
Which one? I didn't hear that.
Sorry. Injustice we just watched, and the animation is not too good in it.
That's a shame.
I
need to see it for myself.
It's not the best animation, but it might be the worst animation.
That is a hard sell.
Yeah, and Brandon, since you brought it up,
Knuckle lines.
yeah, I couldn't stop seeing it. Like the shadows are like a thick line, even on the face.
It's like somebody put a fucking censorship bar at the end of each one of their fucking knuckles. Every character, not just one or two. I'm like, are there pairs of tits on the ends of each one of their knuckles or something? What am I not supposed to be seeing here? Oh wait, that's supposed to represent the knuckle. It was so bad.
That sounds like a harsh aesthetic choice.
It was not great. But I mean, aside from that, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that they did put out through DC Fandome this weekend. Yeah. We got that full-blown trailer for the Batman, which if it didn't get you at least interested, if not excited, then I don't know, man. Go see a doctor. You likely have no pulse. You are dead. You are the undead. But we also got a first look at Black Adam, starring Dwayne Johnson,
which is a choice.
It's a choice. I mean,
it's certainly a choice.
I mean, quite frankly, I don't see a problem with him playing it. I haven't seen his representation. Now all we've gotten is the small clip where we saw how he would handle somebody that he considered to be a threat right away, which is in line with Black Adam nowadays, ever since like JSA, especially like when Jeff Johns and David S. Goyer were writing it in the aughts. And I'm curious to see how he approaches it. I don't think he's gonna do his like normal sort of bigger than life, almost verging on camp type of presentation. I think he's taking it very seriously.
I mean, I kind of hope he does, but
he's been working on getting this movie made for a long time.
Yeah, like my only concern is that they also casted him as like the lead for the League of Super Pets, and I'm just a trifle concerned that they might end up oversaturating Dwayne Johnson in the DC universe. That's necessarily a bad thing.
I would agree with that if it weren't two completely different types of projects. I mean, he is actually like physically on set and physically representing with himself the character of Black Adam. Whereas with a cartoon, there's so much more that can be done with voice acting, as you were saying yourself, that it doesn't even have to remotely come close to being compared. I don't think he's going to have anywhere near the same kind of presentation, same kind of lilt to his voice or anything as Crypto that he will have as Black Adam. So I mean, though I understand the doubts, but much like Steve was saying with coming into seeing the new Batman trailer, like we haven't seen a whole lot, and movies are far from coming out. Let's see how it pans, you know?
Yeah, like I'm very hopeful that he'll make a really great villain in this, because I mean he's done like villainous types of characters before, and I think he would have a really great time doing it. And I hope he has fun doing it.
Yeah, well, what's really good for him too is the fact that, I mean, the character is definitely going to start off as villainous, and Jeremy Courtney, and to see him and Zachary Levi interact will be great. Chuck versus The Rock. That is a reference to the television show Chuck, and every single episode of Chuck is Chuck versus whatever. I know we probably won't that. Yeah, not this movie, but we will definitely see them go toe to toe.
Also, just have to say, Jeremy, great to see you in the chat room. Sending much love your way, and I know we got a bunch more to talk about, including Flashpoint. But before, I wanted to make sure, you know, we spent a little time on this. We do have a trailer that we would like to play for Clutch. Kennedy, would you like to introduce it?
Yeah. So hi. I know that my presence here is probably incredibly unwelcome and all that, since we want to be talking about DC stuff, but I'm actually working on something really exciting. If you're a fan of independent shorts and films and shows, I actually work on a thing called an audio drama, which I'll be explaining in this trailer. I'm working on a new series called Clutch, a Kobold story. It's a story about a bunch of these little reptiles going on an adventure to try and find a new dragon that they can call master after they accidentally kill their old one. I have a little trailer. I have like a short trailer that talks about all of the things in the show and what we're going to be doing. And the Kickstarter for it is going to be happening tomorrow. So please take a look.
Long ago, there were these big, powerful, monstrous reptiles that breathed fire and ruled the land with an iron stomach. They were the dragons. And underneath them were loyal clans that served them for generations. Through thick and thin, hot and cold, they were called kobolds. There was me, Strap the Trapmaker.
Me, Book the Booker.
And there was Nom, the Healther. Nom!
Did you do the long ago bit yet?
Yeah, we did.
Because I like that bit. Can we do it again?
We already did.
Long ago, there was cardboard.
Nom, come on!
And there was me.
What happened to your doodle, Nom?
I got hungry.
What do we do?
Oh, hang on. Ah! Someone bit off my face!
It must have so skin.
Greetings. Hang on. Greetings. My name is Kennedy Phillips. I'm what you would call a sound designer. A sound designer is basically just a fancy word for someone who bangs pots together for money. You may actually know some of my work from projects like there's also
unknown vessels still closing the stern.
Clear for action.
Get away from those, you sheep!
You get the idea. You know, I love sound design. It's the perfect way to tell a story without having any visual talent whatsoever. And trust me, I have no visual talent whatsoever. But if there is one thing I know I do have, is noise talent. It's a lot better than it sounds. For those of you who aren't familiar, an audio drama is a form of audio-only entertainment that used to be played on the radio, before television invented YouTube. One you might know of is a radio play of The War of the Worlds by Orson Welles.
This world was being watched closely by intelligences greater than man.
Right now, I'm looking to do a new show entirely on a much smaller scale. It's called Clutch, a Kobold story.
But you're not hurt. If I drink more when I'm not hurt, I'll never get hurt.
Has that ever worked?
I like the taste.
In Clutch, it takes place in the same universe as my other show, Magus Elgar, but many, many years in the past, during the Age of Dragons. Kobolds are frantic little creatures about 3 feet tall who worship dragons. They're silly, not very smart, and have very short attention spans. There are heroes in this tale. In the deep recesses of the dormant volcano of Mount Krakum resides a great dragon, the benevolent Gaugenvor the Crimson. His kobold servants, the clan Fine You're a Clan Now Let Me Sleep, or Clan Fine for short, answer to his every beck and call and test his every nerve. At least they did, until Gaugenvor developed the tragic case of the not-alives. Contagious, I'm told. So it's up to 3 kobolds to find a new master before the dreaded dragon slayer Krillia Spineshatter comes to destroy Clan Fine. There's Book the Booker, resident scribe and literally the only one that knows how to read.
You got some time to spare? I can tell you about my favorite fonts.
Maybe later. Nom, the resident healer, who really only knows how to drink healing potions.
If I just keep drinking these healing potions, I'll be I won't die!
And the leader of the expedition, the clever trapmaker, Strap.
I'm the one that kills the master!
Well, that's just great, Strap, but you probably shouldn't be proud of that.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
We'll be making a audio drama about 6 episodes in length. That's about 30 to 35 minutes per episode. We'll have full voice acting, sound design, composing, Foley, all recorded at scenic Melodygun Studios in Hollywood, California, with the assistance of the wonderful people over at Network Nexus. We really want to thank you for taking the time to listen to our proposal, and we really hope that you decide to back us. With your help, we'll be able to give the Kobolds an adventure of their own. Until then, this is Kennedy Phillips, thanking you for watching this video. I was that close.
Awesome. I got a link for the Kickstarter up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us. And that looks like a blast.
Yeah, the Kickstarter is releasing tomorrow, and if you sign up with us really early on, you can get the opportunity to get yourself your very own collector's pin of Strap the Trapmaker, or for a very select group of you, since we only have like a limited capacity for it, you'll have the opportunity to get yourself drawn as a member of Clan Fine, and take part in a Wallace session where you can play as the Kobolds.
Very cool.
Very cool. Oh,
yeah.
Sweet. We got that link. We got that link information.
Yep, in the show notes, up above or down below.
Yep, and we have a whole playlist of trailers if you want to get a better idea of what all these characters are like. We have a trailer for each of the characters. Strap the Trapmaker, voiced by Michael Kovac. Nom the Healther, voiced by Joanna Christina. And Book the Booker, voiced by LRBJ, as well as the preview that we showed like a little clip of. We have like a whole playlist that we can give a link in the description for you.
Nice.
Sweet.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that drops tomorrow. You said, right? That starts.
The
Tomorrow?
Kickstarter drops tomorrow. Yes.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
And if you want to see more of what Kennedy has done as well, I have all that information in the show notes. So a lot of cool stuff. Yeah. Jeremy said, "Oh, cartoon me," and Tom says that looks awesome. And Jeremy says, "What mainly are the funds needed for?"
Well, the funding for the production is going to be put into paying our sound designers who are going to be helping make the project, as well as our actors. We're actually going to be recording in studio at Melodygun Studios, which you saw like a little bit of the mixing room and the recording rooms for. We are also going to be hiring a composer, and we want to give them proper like studio industry rates. So it's not like just something that I'm asking them to do for free. I'm actually going to be paying them what I would get paid for on these kinds of productions. And that's why we need your help to help make this into a reality. We are planning on releasing the show for free eventually, but for those who are going to support us, you'll get early access and access to a bunch of like nifty little collectibles and other special features ahead of time.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, and you're supporting, indie professionals as well. So it's something we love to do.
It looks really fun. It really does.
Yeah, it's we originally had pitched it to the BBC, and we did a lot of negotiation for a while and decided it'd be better if we went in our separate ways. But the acquisition team at BBC, they really enjoyed it with all the content that we had to offer with like our wonderful artist and also the amusing shorts that we've been making so far.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, clearly you had something there if they were interested. So, yeah, I will be checking it out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Jeremy says, where did the idea come from doing a talkie?
I have been working on audio dramas for a very long time now. I had gotten inspired to do audio dramas when I was in college, and I used to listen to Professor Nebulous on BBC, which was a parody of Doctor Who. I tried making my own shorts for a little while, and they were not very good. But then I went to college and got like a proper education in sound design and film editing and the like. And I went on to create Magus Elgar because it was a series where I could just focus on my two strengths, writing and sound design. And we ended up getting nominated for Best Original Work by the Audio Publishers Association. We got a Telly Award for some of our content on it. And you can actually listen to that show right now at maguselgar.com if you want an example of the kind of work that we end up doing, which audio dramas have actually been getting really big lately. In the last like 10 years or so. One of my mentors, Casey Wayland, runs a zombie survival podcast called We're Alive that has on average like over 1 million downloads whenever he releases an episode, and that's spectacular.
Yeah. I'd say, man, this is all good stuff. Yeah, so everybody make sure you check out the Kickstarter tomorrow. The links above or below wherever it is you're watching. Like this looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And Jeremy says, is this mainly PG content, I'm guessing?
Yes, it is going to be entirely family friendly. It's for anybody of all ages. It's going to be available wherever pods are cast. In the same way that Magus Elgar is. I want to keep it like family friendly because I really want to introduce young audiences to the world of audio dramas in a way that they can enjoy themselves without feeling like they need to find something that's like a little bit overly padded for children. Like the kind of things that you would expect like Dora the Explorer making an audio drama for, because I know that a lot of kids they want something with a little bit more fun and like excitement attached to it. And story about all kobolds seems like a good fit.
Totally.
Seems like a fun adventure, and that, yeah, nail on the head. I totally get it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Speaking of fun adventure, we saw some Flashpoint stuff.
Okay, let's just start calling it The Flash.
Well, it's Flashpoint.
Yes, but the name of the movie is The Flash.
But it's
I'm siding with Leo on this.
But it's The Flash. Like it's literally The Flash. But here's the thing. If people want to know what it is we're talking about, and they look up Flashpoint, they're gonna get either a comic book story or the television show, because the fucking movie is called The Flash.
Yeah, because that's not confusing at all.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it might use a couple of plot points from the story Flashpoint in the comics, but this is not Flashpoint. It is the movie El Flasherino, The Flash. And yeah, like, man, talk about. I will say, there was never a waterfall in
there
the
wasn't.
Burton Batcave. That seems more of a just like an homage or whatever to Nolan's Batman.
Yeah.
Because when I saw that, I was like, "Whoa, that's a dope ass shot." But no, that is incorrect. That is essentially an anachronism. That is not right. But if we're playing with multiverses and things kind of bleeding into realities, whatever. Like that's a nitpick at best. But it was really cool seeing the two different versions of Barry, and I'm guessing that one is the Flash for '89 universe.
You mean 3 different versions? There was 3 in that scene.
No, there were 2. What are you talking about? There were 3.
There was 3 Flashes in
No, there were 2 Flashes. What are you talking about?
There was 3.
2.
It again, there were 2.
What are you talking about? It was Barry, and Supergirl.
What?
Yeah, Barry, Supergirl.
Really?
On my father's grave, that is Sasha Kaye. If you were looking at it and you see Barry that we know right there, front and center, and then, excuse me, and then long-haired 89 Batman to his right, our left, okay, directly to his left, our right, behind him is Sasha Kaye as Supergirl.
See, this is why I come to these conversations.
You really thought there was 3 versions of Barry?
Yeah.
Sure. You know what? Let's go with it. That's the version of Barry that's not fucking Barry at all because it's Supergirl.
Hey, man, it could just be a Lady Barry. You don't know.
Okay,
Hey,
and you know what? I'll go one further than that. Not only is it like Lady Barry, but it's like Barry to the point where it's not Barry at all because it's fucking Supergirl.
Brandon.
Yes,
he
sir.
He probably just got that from Reddit, and he
Stop it! Stop it!
Rough pumpkins right there, buddy.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, I thought that was a female Barry. Okay.
It's because he's coming off of Loki, you know?
The funny thing about that is, no, you were wildly incorrect. That was not a female Barry. But that's what you really just like threw me for a loop, though. I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? At first, I thought you were like busting chops, and then I'm like, no, he genuinely thinks there was like a third fucking Barry there. And then in that nanosecond, I'm like, was there a third Barry? Am I the one that's wrong?
Something said with such confidence it rattles your own.
But yeah, we set the record straight here. Everyone, it's fine. I was not wrong, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay.
So how does that make you feel now, though, knowing that it's actually Supergirl?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean,
I totally forgot she was in the movie.
Well, that's I've said it. Like I'm still like holding out this ember of hope, just the tiniest ember, that she is going to be the daughter of Superman from the Batman '89 universe, and Superman in that universe is going to have a cameo being played by Nicolas Cage in a suit reminiscent of what the design was for Superman Lives. And the cameo is him like doing whatever and like suddenly having to change into a Superman outfit while he's talking with Lois about Supergirl, about their kid, and Lois is going to be played by Salma Hayek.
I feel like that it's become like a really recent movement that I've been finding a sudden influx of people that are desperate to see Nicolas Cage as Superman.
You're welcome, Jeremy. Fuck you. You're welcome. That would be amazing. Hey, WB, I'm here, man. Just fucking give me a call. I can help you out. I swear.
So I have hope that may happen. And,
and also, real quick, with the Nick Cage Superman, seriously, like, how badly, and not like a fucking, like, dark, like, you know, gloomy, emo Superman way, but, like, how great would it just be to have, like, a Superman who's just been in Metropolis for, like, 20-something years doing the same thing over and over again, and finally we just see, like, Brainiac touchdown in Metropolis, and his immediate reaction is, fuck me!
Actually, I'm just seeing Nicolas Cage being the kind of guy where as Superman, he looks as it touches down, the big thing opens up, and he's kind of sitting there slack-jawed, like, opens up, Brainiac comes forward, and is like, you cannot hope to come against my intelligence. And he goes, I bet I'm smarter than you.
Sense today.
Your tyranny ends here.
Sense today, Brainiac.
Test me.
Anybody see my pig? Yeah,
it's like, prepare to see your home planet destroyed. Superman goes, I'll arm wrestle you for it.
He did voice Superman in the Teen Titans Go to the Moon.
Yeah, and he was great in it because they were leaning into that joke.
Yeah, but the thing is, the only reason now you're saying like you're seeing an influx of it, it actually makes sense because no, it really does. Superman Lives was supposed to be set in the same universe as Michael Keaton's Batman, and everything fell through. Now we haven't seen Michael Keaton's Batman since Batman Returns, and now we're getting that back. So of course people are going to bring up whether or not we'd see Superman from that same verse, especially considering that there's a Supergirl right there.
Was that Superman movie the same one where Kevin Smith was complaining about the producer that wanted the giant robot spider?
Yep. Yeah. And he got it in Wild Wild West.
Yes. Because who was going to say no on that movie?
So I just wanted to bring up one thing real quick, that from what they've been talking about, this year is going to be a merge of all versions of DC entertainment. And you can presume that they're probably going to bring the TV in, because they already did bring Ezra's Flash with the WB Flash.
Yeah, during Crisis on Infinite Earths, the two of them interacted. It actually appears that the CW Flash may have given Ezra Miller's Flash character the idea for the name The Flash, because if you watch Justice League, either version, they never call him anything other than Barry.
Yep.
He has no superhero moniker.
So here's one thing that showed up during DC Fandome, and I'm not sure if anybody caught it, and hopefully you did, Brandon, since you're a huge Superman fan.
Bro, you just thought Supergirl was the Flash. I'm not so sure you fucking caught whatever you're about to tell us about.
Okay, so I was a huge Smallville fan.
Ah, yes, Cuban Bean. I know what you're gonna say. Yeah, me too. I even bought the entirety of season 11, the comic book, which continues the story after the series.
Did you catch when they were introducing Tom Welling and I forgot the guy that played Lex?
Michael Rosenbaum.
Michael Rosenbaum. The video they showed of Tom Welling in the Superman suit was not from the show.
I did not see that.
They showed him flying.
Say what, girlfriend? No, hold on, wait. They showed him flying. This is clearly him, like, several years ago when he was younger, correct?
It looked like it was mostly animated.
Oh, okay.
Not like it looked like CGI, but it could have been a recent.
Well, I know that Michael Rosenbaum and Tom Welling, who, regardless of having been on the show for quite some time, which is about to come up on his 20th anniversary, that was actually part of the whole thing behind Smallville's presence during DC Fandome. Yeah. They have been working on an animated series that is actually a continuation of Smallville.
Well, I meant CGI, not animated.
Okay.
It counts. It still counts.
Fair enough. Yeah, I hear animated though, and my brain still automatically goes to like Tex Avery
2D.
Status, Like I want to see eyes bulging out of heads. But yeah, like it's that's a project that the two of them have been working on, and they are just now starting to like have it seriously looked at. So it seems very likely that this is going to come to fruition probably over the next year and a half. So we may end up getting, quote, season 11 of Smallville on like HBO Max.
Speaking of animated, though, I don't know if any of you give a remote shit about this, but I'm excited about it personally.
Then go on.
Have you seen the preview trailer for season 3 of Harley Quinn?
I have not.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good looking. Like, they only had like animatics right now, but like the ideas that they have planned going forward look so good. And I for those of you who have not given Harley Quinn a chance, it's on HBO Max right now. Start. It is a show that you have genuinely no idea where it's going to go. And I really appreciate that. I mean, this is aside from the fact that I am personally working with the sound design team working on that on Hell of a Boss. Ignore that. It's the fact, like, I love this show before I had even gotten a chance to meet those absolutely talented and incredibly wonderful people who are also working on Hell of a Boss at the same time. But that's not important. Again, I absolutely adore that show, and also the fact that it is uncompromising in the fact that it's an adult cartoon and not meant for children.
Yeah, I mean, it is funny you say that because Jeremy just informed us that he and his daughter love that show, and she's 10. But
I would say you're a terrible parent. However, I was introduced to South Park when I was 7, so I have no legs to stand on.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like censorship was not a big thing in my house for the most part. So I can't get down on anybody that's like, I watch this with my kid. Or like, it's a far cry from from like, oh, I just sit them down in front of the idiot box and just let the show be their babysitter. No, if you're engaging and you're right there next to your kid and they have questions, that's the point. Like you can answer them right away, and that's the kind of thing that Harley Quinn can do for sure. So I think it's fucking great that Jeremy. I also love banning Clayface. I will.
Don't besmirch my name to be Clayface because I am a thespian.
I just wanted to. So I found a video and tell me that I've gone crazy. I might
anyway, but show me.
Yeah, I'm gonna just play a little bit, but I don't remember any of this. I don't remember him handing him the suit. I don't.
Oh, this is all from the last episode.
Really?
All of it, yeah. And that is the most you see of him in a suit altogether, right there. And at the end of the series. That's it, right there. That's the last shot. That's all you get.
Wow.
Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man. So I've gone crazy. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Leo. Thanks.
Can I just say, like the
fucking wound all over again.
I have a running joke about like the CW in general that I'm going to share with the rest of you because it's just a running gag in my house.
Jeremy, I do Bane all day. Phrasing, bro.
I don't know about the rest of you, but whenever I think of the CW nowadays, as comparatively like to back when it was like still clearly the WB with Smallville and all that stuff, I would describe almost every show of the CW as a really muscular dude taking his shirt off and going, oh. That's the script of most of those CW shows. And I would challenge them not having you looking through any one of the shows that they put on the CW, and if they do not have a scene, like at least one scene like that somewhere in that series, they have failed the requirements to be on the CW.
Well, I mean, let's play the same game. Oh, look, you just described every CW/WB show. Or every Marvel movie. It's true. I mean, we've all seen the ad-libbed touching of the chest in Captain America: The First Avenger, right? When Peggy Carter first sees Steve when he comes out of the chamber, yeah, she wasn't supposed to touch him. Haley Atwell was straight up just like, it's cute.
Are we counting just DC shows on CW?
It's mostly just CW shows in general. Like almost all of them like do that kind of softcore kind of fan service.
All right, because we just finished up. Me and my girlfriend just finished up Supernatural on Netflix, and the last few seasons were on CW, and we didn't see that on there.
Oh, I refuse to accept that. It's definitely in there somewhere. It's gonna be in there somewhere. Those two fuckboys are doing something without a shirt.
Hold on, wait, Steve, are you talking about the last few seasons of Supernatural?
Yeah, they've been on.
CW and WB are still the same network. So Supernatural was on the same network the entire time. It just changed. So it was on WB, and the network shifted its title. Still owned, a combination between WB and CBS.
Well, the reason I said that was because
they definitely did it earlier in the series.
The last couple seasons, you see the CW logo, but the earlier seasons you don't see it. And yes, Jeremy, it ended October of last year, their 15th season. So
and Jared Padalecki went on to he's doing Walker right now,
and Ackles is doing The Boys, the Amazon Prime Boys show.
Jensen Ackles, he's playing the soldier boy on The Boys. It's the Captain America analog for their deconstruction on Amazon Prime.
He was also the voice of Batman on Long Halloween.
Yeah, because he wasn't trying to do Batman's voice on every fucking episode of Supernatural anyway. Have you ever heard him speak in real life? Like, it's so not for nothing. I like Jensen Ackles a lot, but it's very obvious he's putting on a voice on Supernatural. Like, it's like, I want pie, not cake. It's like, bro, you don't fucking sound like that. You know that you're more soft-spoken from Texas. Like, knock the fuck off. And if you ever hear him off camera from Supernatural, yeah, that's what he sounds like. He's like, "Hey guys, what's happening?" it's not a great fake out. I'll put it that way. That is a fun show though. My wife and I stopped watching it a couple seasons back though. I kind of gave up when the mother came back. The impetus for the whole series. Like, our mom got killed by a demon, so we joined hunting demons with our dad, and then he died, and now we're still hunting demons because our dad died and our mom died. So then their mom comes back in like season 12 or whatever the fuck it is, and I was like, oh well, this is the part where Brandon checks out. Like, I just couldn't do it anymore. Ugh.
So I know we're running on time, but for DC Fandome, was there anything else that came out that really strike the chord with anybody?
I want to ask people a question.
Yeah.
DC Fandome. So I don't know if you guys saw the announcement. I think it was the head of DC Comics. He was talking about the future of the comics, like, you know, here's what we have coming up, here's what we have coming up, here's what we have coming up. He made a big announcement about Superman, and after 80 years, with his tagline, Truth, Justice, the American Way, it's changing to Truth, Justice, and I forgot.
Better Tomorrow.
Better
Tomorrow.
And actually, that is a mischaracterization of that, because that has not been something that he has said for 80 years since his inception. That is something that was applied to that character during the McCarthy era in the 50s, just after World War II and going into Korea. It's much like placing under God in the Pledge of Allegiance. It was not always there. It was put in because of fear being stoked by politicians. It doesn't matter that Superman says the American way. It's the fact that Superman is actually a citizen of the world. This is his adopted planet, not his adopted country. Clark Kent may live in America, and he may be American. That is not how Superman operates. So everyone who might be getting every person out there who may be getting their panties in a twist over that, buck up, camperoos. All right, Superman actually is a character that is recognized the world over, and if he were real, I know this sounds crazy, but if he were real, it wouldn't matter to him if you were from America or not. It's not about being American. He was raised with values that have nothing to do with the country he lived in and everything to do with the people who raised him to be a good person. Please do not conflate being American with being good, okay? All right, I'm done.
Well said.
Well, I would say in terms of the things that I'm excited for, there's one other that is a bit of on the fringe of like the DC shenanigans, but I'm really excited for it nonetheless because I am a diehard fan of Terry Pratchett and by extension Neil Gaiman as well.
Oh my God, yes.
Fucking Sandman finally getting a proper series.
Doesn't it look so fucking good?
It looks phenomenal.
I gotta have you now. Let me ask you, Kennedy. Have you seen? That's right, Jeremy. Superman is a world protector. Damn straight. Kennedy, have you seen the show The Good Place from NBC?
I have not gotten a chance to see The Good Place.
Oh my God!
But I have seen.
Death is in it. You got to check it out.
I have seen Good Omens, which is a collaboration between Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman, and it is a phenomenal series. It's on Amazon Prime. And it has such a great dynamic between Aziraphale and Crowley, and I just love every second of it. Yes. But Sandman is going to be great. I have like a couple of the books on my shelf as well as Lucifer. What was it? The daytime television version of Lucifer was a little bit of a far cry of what I was hoping for.
Yeah, I didn't.
Not that I was saying it's bad. It's just it hits differently. If I was to say
it's a procedural. It's like a cop procedural, basically.
Yeah, but if Sandman is going to be anything remotely close to the kind of thing that we got from American Gods, I am all for it.
There will be no second season of Good Omens. It is based off of one book, and Neil Gaiman has explicitly said he's.
I thought they said they were doing.
They have been talking about doing a season 2. They have been talking about doing season 2.
Okay, because he was like, nope. But
there has been talks about it because I know that Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett had a bunch of notes for the book that they wanted to toy around with, but never got around to doing it. Yeah, and they're discussing it right now. And again, if he doesn't do it, fine. That's okay.
Not. I hope they leave it as.
Hold on.
Yeah, I know, Leo. Look, see the smoke rising up from his fingers on the keyboard.
One day ago, on Screen Rant, Good Omens Season 2 Image brings first look at David Tennant's return. New Image gives a first look as production gets underway.
All right. So I was off.
Sorry, I have a lot of confidence that Neil Gaiman will do a good job with it, because if there's one thing that Neil Gaiman understood about Terry Pratchett when he passed away was that Terry Pratchett had a really hard time getting good adaptations of his works. He very rarely actually opened up and allowed people to do adaptations of his things unless he was able to directly help and influence it in some way or another. Because every time that someone would try to make a theatrical rendition of like a Discworld book, the producers would try to change something or contaminate the original message of what that story was about. And Terry Pratchett would be like, I have no business here. I will not do any of this.
No, that show though, Sandman by Neil Gaiman, coming from originally Vertigo Comics under DC.
It's going to be good.
It's an incredible series. If you ever want to read like a great comic book and you're not into like superhero flights and tights, that's fine. My wife read it. She loved it. She also read Lucifer afterwards. And Lucifer is not like Kennedy said. It's not at all what they made the show into. It's a much deeper, more nuanced character than that altogether.
Also, it's got the kind of humor where in Sandman, one of the characters looks down at a raven who's his best friend and assistant, and he says, "Hey, say nevermore." The raven looks up at him and says, "Fuck you."
Yeah, it's great. It's absolutely outstanding. Another thing actually that I did want to say something about, because I was pretty excited, is that there's going to be a Milestone animated film that's going to be made with Warner Brothers, Milestone Comics. It's the characters of Static, Rocket, Icon.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people tend not to realize that Milestone Comics is it's not owned by DC. Those characters were licensed to DC by the creators of Milestone Comics, and they've always retained ownership. Anytime you've seen them involved with any other DC characters, it's because they've given their permission, and it's like a "fuck you, pay me" situation. But the fact that they're gonna take this and actually make like a big animated film together, working partnership with DC Animation and Warner Brothers Animation is great, because there's a whole bunch of characters. I mean, Static is a great character, but there's so much more that can be done with many more characters from that universe that they built in Milestone. That it's gonna be really cool and interesting to see how they approach it, and it's not going to connect to the DC movies. It's going to be its own thing. It is absolutely going to. What is that?
Don't worry about it.
I'm like, what is happening? But yeah, it's going to be great. I mean, Icon is their Superman analog, and I'm just I cannot wait to see it. And the fact that it's going to take place in the Dakota verse, as they call it in Milestone. Dakota is the state or town, city, something like that, where most of the stories are centered. No Superman, no Batman, no one else showing up. Just the characters that these guys and gals created. I cannot fucking wait.
Did you hear Superman and Batman make an appearance in Eternals?
The movie? What do they watch Batman be Superman while they're?
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, apparently, somebody suggests that some of the Eternals characters, one is like Batman, one's like Superman. So they actually say Batman and Superman in the movie.
Oh, no kidding! Okay. Well, that's interesting.
It's a mention, not an appearance, Leo.
That's crazy though, because even in the Matrix Reloaded, which I know it's a WB movie, but that's neither here nor there. It's still not a superhero / DC movie. When I cannot remember Harold Perrineau Jr.'s character's name in the Matrix movies. The one that's married to Tank's sister. Tank and Bill's sister.
I can't remember.
Yeah, but he's the one that watches when everybody goes in. He's the monitor, and where's Neo? And he's like, he's busy doing his Superman thing, and it shows Neo flying around inside the Matrix, and all the shit he drags along behind him. At the end of that movie, I noticed this years ago. At the end of it, they actually had to put a copyright thing for Superman having been mentioned in the movie.
Yep, that happens a lot in film.
So if they're saying Batman and Superman in this,
they had to pay for it.
They had to pay for it. I mean, I don't think anyone would necessarily realize that. That's like why I say so many times, like, listen up, nerds. Just take business class. Just one. It'll change your fucking world. You'll start looking at so many things differently.
Yeah, because then you'll understand the reasoning why they're like, why don't they do DC versus Marvel crossover? I'm like, there are many reasons why they don't want to do that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like, just a case in point of how much of a logistical nightmare a movie like Who Framed Roger Rabbit was. Legally, Bugs Bunny and Mickey had to share the exact same amount of screen time at any given point, or both of those companies would walk.
Same thing with Daffy Duck and Donald Duck.
Which is why you saw that they had to share a scene together. And then when they did the back and forth, they had to time it down to the second, because if they were a single frame over one or the other, they would get a lawsuit, or they would try and jump ship and rip out all of their IPs.
Yeah.
That is how petty and covetous these companies are about their IPs. It's kind of ludicrous.
We are literally talking, think about it right now, we are literally talking about those same two companies now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers and Disney.
So real quick, 40. So the article mentions 40 seconds into the 2.5 hour long movie, a young boy, Phastos' son, points to Icarus and exclaims, "Dad, that's Superman with the cape, and you're shooting laser beams out of your eyes."
So. Rip-off confirmed. I mean, I've seen that all over the interwebs. Anybody like, oh yeah, great, oh sure, real nice Eternals. So now you have your own team movie and you got a guy that's just like Superman. Yeah, all right, plagiarist. I'm like,
a lot of people have been giving Eternals a lot of crap ever since they were first announced.
It's like,
so,
have you ever seen superhero things? They're all the fucking same. Like, stop it. I mean, for Christ's sake, Doom Patrol and X-Men were released a month apart from one another in the 60s.
One comment I saw when Eternals was first announced, and I just ignored the comment, but it just came up now when you guys were talking about the reactions to Eternals. Someone compared Eternals to Inhumans and how it was going to be bad. I was just like, you know what? That was enough internet for today.
Yeah, fair enough, dude. Yeesh. No, I don't get that vibe whatsoever.
No.
First of all, Ike Perlmutter is not involved even remotely.
Exactly.
Just so you know, be careful on social media, because apparently the ending to Eternals has been people are spoiling it.
Oh yeah, they did that for Venom like within hours of it being released.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate that they did that for Venom, because I had no interest in seeing that fucking movie to begin with.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh, I enjoyed that movie.
I'm genuinely glad that you enjoyed it. I'm glad that a lot of people that saw it enjoyed it. It's just not for me. It's not my bag, and I didn't have any interest in seeing it, and I was gonna probably begrudgingly see it because I was like, I know it's gonna connect to some kind of shit. I just know it. I know it. They keep pushing me, and they keep pushing me. And finally, someone was like, "Hey, here's the after credits sequence," and I was like, "Oh, all right, there it is." And that's all I needed. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for saving me money and like an hour and a half of my life.
I mean, with all the hoopla and BS that Sony and Disney have been doing with their joint custody battle, you could see the writing on the wall with that post-credit scene. So.
Yeah, whatever. Like you said, writing on the wall. It is what it is. They needed some kind of shot in the arm, and there it be. So, Godspeed, everybody over at Sony. Good luck to you.
Hey man, I am still just going to be sitting over here enjoying my favorite version of Spider-Man things, and that was Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, that was
because if there's one thing Sony has, it is that. And what I mean by saying if there's one thing Sony has, I mean if there's one thing that Sony currently has.
Academy Award.
Because like I did enjoy Venom, but I don't think it's like a groundbreaking kind of experience or anything like that. But Into the Spider-Verse deserved the Emmy that it got, deserved the Academy Award that it got.
No, it absolutely did. Absolutely.
Did you know that every single character in that movie has a different frame rate?
I do now.
I do now.
What the fuck?
I do now. It was impressive.
When someone told me that, I'm sitting there like, oh my god, why would you do this to yourself?
We hate ourselves. We wanted to make our job as difficult as possible. So.
Well, it definitely added to it because, with the different animation styles and everything, it definitely, each character
makes
had
sense,
their own.
but the amount of effort you would have to go, bravo to that team.
Especially with the ending sequence. This ending sequence, I thought the projector was going to crash. There's so much shit going on.
It was great. It was.
And now they're getting a sequel, and also just to prove that it wasn't like a one and done kind of thing. They released Mitchell's versus the Machines, and the animation in that is spectacular. Where they're doing something really different, where they're adding 2D animations on top of 3D models.
Yeah,
and that's really crazy.
That was a fun flick altogether too. Yeah, for sure. Speaking about fun flicks that most people will likely go to see and hopefully enjoy, Marvel just also said recently, not so fast, and changed the release dates on everything. Everything. Yeah, so if you had your heart set on certain time frames for when these things were going to come out, well, you better manage those expectations, boys and girls.
Question: Did they delay Hawkeye to after Christmas? Because if they did, that's hilarious.
They may have.
I don't think that probably hasn't been delayed since we're so.
I think
close
most of it's done.
Yeah. No, it's ending after No Way Home is delayed.
Okay.
Yeah, Doctor Strange has been pushed. Everything, months off from their original dates, and. It's fine by me. Yeah, it's the smart move.
I mean, to be fair, I think the reason why they did that, again, this is speculation, but it might have in part to do with the IASTE strike that has been looming a little bit, and rightfully so, because the film industry has been dragging their employees through the dirt for the last decade or so. Especially with the advent of new media with Netflix and all these streaming services, basically just removing any hope of profit margins from those employees.
Yeah, because the line they keep throwing out there is we just don't know if it's a profitable model yet. Bullshit.
As they sit there and count cash.
Yeah. I don't know if this will make any money. Is that a bathtub full of money you're sitting in? No, it's just green water that looks like paper with dead presidents on it. Don't pay any attention. I don't know if this is going to be profitable.
I could pay you now, but it happens to have the stank of my nuts at the moment. Yeah. I hope you don't mind.
I could sign this check for you, or I could continue sitting in this room twirling my mustache in the corner. And I got to tell you, I love twirling my mustache. That's pretty much how it's going down, kids. It's like modern day.
Well, it's not even just that, but I actually have come from a couple of film shoots, and what it used to be is that you'd have 12 hours on, 12 hours off on a film shoot. And when you're in on location and stuff like that, it's what are you going to do? Just spend 4 or 5 hours doing nothing in this remote area in the world. But now it's gotten to this point where they can get you working 6 days a week and have you wake up, work from until Saturday afternoon without getting punished, and then have less than 8 hours of a turnover, which is not even enough time to spend time with your family, let alone get home and sleep.
Yeah, it's out of control. And they were all ready to strike Saturday night. They were geared up for it, and then last minute, I know a few people that are in the union, and they got the call nope, put it all away. We're entering negotiations, and
right now, the negotiations, the first pass of negotiations have not been going great either. They reduced it, say, we'll give you a 10-hour turnaround. And they're sitting there that's nothing.
Yeah, they came to the table for negotiations. Now it's okay, now we're willing to negotiate. And they showed up, and the very first thing they said was the same thing that they had been saying before. So they changed nothing at all. And, some people in the union are well, maybe we should take that deal. And everybody, through the people I know, they're fuck no.
Now, for the fans out there that are probably getting really frustrated about the potential of your favorite thing getting delayed or damaged or something, I have a lot of really close friends who work on some of these productions. In fact, one of my colleagues from Chapman is one of the special effects editors for every Marvel movie you've ever watched. And this kind of work, like these kinds of negotiations, are incredibly important because when they go on strike, they are risking their livelihoods, they're risking their pay, they're risking their dream job, and they would not be doing this unless there's a good reason. And a long time ago, we had the writer's strike, which a lot of shows understandably ended up getting tanked because of it. A lot of great shows got tanked because of it. We had a lot of weirdness during that phase, and I get it. That is frustrating, and it feels like these people are taking away your favorite thing. But understand, they are making your favorite thing, and if their suffering is what's required to make it, I'm sorry, it wasn't worth your love of that thing. It's the price that they have to pay. These people they lose jobs, they lose their mental health, they lose connections with their families just because a producer keeps telling them, I thought you cared about your job. I thought you cared about what we're doing here. I thought you were an artist. You have no idea how often that line gets said in our field.
Bullshit. Wow. It's absolute bullshit. That's like you said. I mean, if people are worried about their favorite thing being, delayed / taken away, you know what? The way you feel about the potential of that thing you love for a short amount of time on each day that you watch it or whatever, that think about how you feel with that. And now think about how someone who makes that thing feels because the thing they love may be their family, or being able to sleep more than 2 or 3 hours, or being able to go and have a nice meal and actually decompress with friends. Okay. That's simple things that you can do when you're done watching your favorite thing, because there's very minimal effort you have to put forth to enjoy it. And they bust their buns day in and day out, and the burnout is starting to come up now. How would you feel if your favorite thing was being taken over, not by somebody neglecting making it, but because you were forced to do something else entirely for 3/4 of a day?
If you really care about these shows, like the DC stuff, the Marvel stuff, whatever it is that you're a fan of, I invite you to express the same amount of love in the expectation of it being made right.
Yep, totally.
Yeah.
If there's another strike, then maybe we'll get another Dr. Horrible sing-along blog.
That's very true. That's very true.
I think Joss Whedon would be hard-pressed to get a lot of people to help him out on that one.
Yeah. He's kind of squandered a lot of goodwill over the years.
Yeah. Only slightly. Just a little bit.
So there was a funny Batman meme when Disney announced the delays. It was a message about the delays, and it was a bat symbol saying, what did he say? It's not a symbol, it's a warning.
Oh yeah, it's not just a oh my god, calling card or whatever it is. Damn it.
Yeah, I think it was like it's not just a symbol. It's a.
Or is it signal that he says?
Signal.
It's not just a signal; it's a warning, or like it's a promise or something.
Yeah, it's a warning. Ooh. I mean, if there's cloud cover that night, because otherwise you're not going to see shit, right?
Or if it's daylight.
Yeah. Oh shit! I don't think Batman thought this one through, guys.
I know we ran a lot on time, so we're going to wrap things up. I know there's news about Batwoman, about the stuff that happened. We can cover that next week. Also, we'll definitely be talking about Dune. And I did not realize it's a multi-part movie.
Oh,
yeah.
Really? I thought you knew.
Yeah, that seems like it would make sense.
Yeah.
So I had the chance to see it, and it starts off part one. What's that?
So did I. Thank you, by the way.
Oh, you're welcome. I started watching it, and it said part one, and I'm thinking, oh, they're going to do the Zack Snyder's thing. It's going to be different parts within the movie because it's so long.
Oh, I thought you meant just make it overly complicated and not edit it at all.
My co-host of my podcast is a huge Dune fan, and he knew that it was going to be different parts. Like it was going to be part one.
I'm not a Dune fan, and I knew that.
Yeah. So.
Well, it's highly enjoyable
It
anyway,
is.
and you know, comes out Friday, so definitely check it out. You know, if you got HBO Max, you can check it for free. So I want to remind everybody, you know, definitely check the show notes up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us. Kennedy has a Kickstarter that starts tomorrow, and you know, we have all that information there. And so, Kennedy, where do you like people interacting with you on social media?
You can find me predominantly on Twitter. I'm pretty active there under Magus Serling. You can also see our Clutch Twitter under Clutch a Cobalt Story. Twitter.com/Clutch Kobolds with a Z at the end. I'm looking forward to seeing like how many people turn out for it. I'm also completely terrified because I've never done this kind of thing before. So I really hope that you guys decide to support Clutch a Cobalt Story, and if things go well, we might be able to make more stuff in the future, considering that a lot of us try to do this kind of thing for a living.
Awesome. Yo.
Honestly, the only thing I've been using lately is Instagram, and even then, I'm not that super consistent. So just Yo Saint Laurent on Instagram, I guess. And yes, like when I can, I'll be here. Miss you guys. So.
You're always welcome, my friend.
Thank you.
Steven.
Super Retro Throwback Reviews on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Always here every Wednesday on the Dorkening Podcast Network, and we have 2 shows on the Dorkening Podcast Network. Super Retro Throwback Reviews, the Audio Files, which comes out every Monday, and CSI The Vegas Files, which comes out every Friday. Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Super Retro Podcast. And Leo put the link in the show notes. Check out our store. If you use the promo code RETRO at checkout, you'll get 10% off your order. That's it.
Brandon.
Hey everyone, you can follow me on Twitter at Brandon's Powers and on Instagram at This Brandon Has Powers. I am also I have a group on Facebook called Powers Combined. It's a geek group for everybody to come on in, celebrating all kinds of fandoms. We just have a good time, share info, ask questions, and you know, just lots of laughs and fun memes. Our number 1 rule is don't be a jerk. If you violate it, you will be shown the door immediately. And aside from that, you can find me here every week, Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Dorkening Wednesday podcast show.
Awesome. Yeah, and for me, just Google Leo Pond. You find a bunch of stuff. Could be true, could be not. I'm not going to say which is which, but I run the Dorkening Podcast Network. About 40 shows on the network. It's a lot of awesome people doing a lot of awesome stuff. Jeremy says, good hanging with you all tonight. Same here, Jeremy. You know,
I agree. It was good. Hanging with all of you tonight.
It was. And, you know, Jeremy, doors always open, you know, when you want to join us on video. And with that, we'll catch you guys then. Bye.
Bye, everybody.